And thank you for joining us here at Free to Become Me channel. Once again, we thank you for joining us, and if you have not seen any of our previous videos, you're missing out. Please check them out. You'll see how we moved from the USA to Belize and all the different projects we've taken on thus far with our new prefab home. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, follow, and hit that notification bell. Thank you.
See what we dealing with on a regular? Yeah. These lizards, not lizards, but iguanas done took a dump. And let me tell you something, they take a dump everywhere. And they don't even, you know how dogs position in taking a dump. Not them, they just walk and take a dump. So they'll just take a dump on anything. And we kept wondering, you know, were they coming from little dogs or were they coming from the coatis? I think I'm saying it right. But anyway, or where they were coming from until we seen one of them in action. But this is what I have to pick up. And I used to complain all the time when I used to live in Day City where we had an HOA and dogs would come in my yard and take a dump and I had to pick it up and I report it on the HOA. Now I can't even report it to nobody because it's their land. You just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Okay, what we're doing today is, hopefully you can hear me, but what we're doing today is we're pulling up all these weeds. See how big these weeds are? And so, you know, if you ever pulled a weed, if you have a yard or whatever, or some land, you know, you really need to pull up weeds from the root. Because if not, they just go right back. And don't get me wrong, eventually they will grow back, but it takes a little bit longer. But these are all the weeds that we're going to pull up today. Well, I don't know about today, but Ronnie's still over there doing some trimming. This whole back part, we'll trim and then pull up weeds. So this is where we're at. So, once we get done, we will show you where we're at. We might even film while we're pulling up. This is where we're at so far. And once we pull up all the weeds, we'll just throw them over in the bushes. So we might finish half of this and then tomorrow get to the back. That's a lot of work. And honestly, you really do need a team of people to do this. Me and Ronnie, we are a team. There's no I in team. So you gotta work together. And that goes for everything, whether you're talking about a relationship, as far as a spouse, or sisters, or mothers and daughters, and dads and sons. There has to be respect in that dynamic. Because if not, someone's going to end up resenting that person, and it doesn't matter the title they carry. So they can be your dad, your mom, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your siblings. Just because somebody has a title does not mean they have the right to disrespect you. So, just giving you a little wisdom, but that's where we're at. So we finished the front property. Excuse me. So, it was about 2 hours. And it's already steaming. And it's about 8 something. So tomorrow we'll get up at 6, get out here about 6:15, 6:30 at the latest, and we'll get back. And then we'll be done with the yard for a little bit. It's the next day. And we are in the back of the property on the side. Okay, this is the side that is a little bit more rougher than the other side, because that side, for the most part, we cleared it. We picked up a lot of the sticks, rocks. I mean, it's still sticks and rocks over there, but it's not as much as this side. Because see, this side won't be able to get the lawn more, because there's just too much going on over here. So this right here. So what we do on this side, we use the machete, and then we also use the weed eater. Now we're almost done because we pretty much finished up until right there. The only part we got left is this little part back here, and we're just gonna cut it low to up against the bushes back there, right there. So just this little area right here we'll keep low, and then we'll have some type of privacy, because on the other side of the property, on the other side of the bushes, that's somebody else's property. So we do want to have some type of privacy. But this is where we're at. You gotta just use, you can't really pull them up from the rope because they're too, I mean, I guess you could use them really strong, but some weeds won't just pull up with your body weight. Some weeds, if you can't get them up, then you just have to use a machete. And let me tell you something about the machete. This thing right here, let me tell you, it's a lifesaver. And it's crazy, when we first moved over here, I had never seen this before, but the guys that cut the grass, do you know they cut this whole lawn, this 1.75, it's 1.75 acres, but like I said, we still got a lot of, you know, bush that separates one property from the next, but they cut this whole yard with a machete. I had never seen that before in my life. And they did it in one day. Now, of course, you know, they was out here. This is something they're used to. So they were out here most of the day and in that heat. I had never seen nothing like it before, but that's how they do it in Belize. Wherever you go, you'll see, you know, a lot of people, a lot of locals cutting the grass with the machete. And you do have some that will do a lawnmower and weed eater, but you know, you got to get gas for that, and that costs money. And then you got to do repairs on it. Machete, if it breaks down, which I don't know how it breaks down, maybe the handle might fall off, or maybe it'll split, but I can't see that happening. But then you just buy another machete, and what, you spend $20 versus a lawnmower over here, maybe 600 Belizean dollars, so that would be 300 USD. And then a weed eater can be about the same, you know, about $400 or $500, and then Belizean, and then 200 USD. It's a lot of work, for real. And that's where you get all your exercise at, right here. This is real working out. Because when you're working out in a gym where the air conditioner is blowing, I used to work out in the gym, so I know my whole life. That's not real workout. To me, anyway. Working outside where you sweating, that's working out. We're out. I better talk loud because somebody's getting a house built right across those trees and bushes. Right on the other side of there, somebody's getting a home built, so it's a bunch of machines over there, but here we are. This is where the guys came out and finished cutting. If you remember previous video where it was really high, They hadn't been out here in who knows how long. They probably came out here to get it looking nice, and we know that our house is going up. So, you can see, cut it all the way down there on the edge. Now, of course, Ronnie, he did the middle of the street, but they trimmed up the edges. So it looks good, looks good, looks good. They did a good job. All right, let's go to the back. So we finished up cutting the grass and pulling up the weeds. So that was a big thing. Pulling up the weeds. So Ronnie used a weed eater over here. You cut that sucker low. You can see how dry it is. See, look. See how low it is, and then how dry it is. Super duper dry. See that? We pulled up yesterday. We pulled up a lot of not only weeds, but we moved a lot of logs and tree limbs, and we still got something to do. Move that. Eventually, we probably will put some mall here. We're trying to figure out still what we're gonna do, because our plans is like they change often. See, I just seen that iguana went down in there, and these rocks, we had got these extra rocks to do something with. I know we're gonna use some of them for our fire pit, and then some of them we can use for filling little holes, and then I'm not sure what we're gonna use the rest of them for. But anyway, we're gonna start working on that soon, especially before it starts raining constantly, and then we can't do anything. But I'm gonna take a quick walk down here so you can just see how it looks now after pulling up all the weeds. Remember, all this was just straight weeds over here. So, as you can see, it's all pulled up. Ronnie trimmed the rest. I pulled up most of the weeds and he helped me, but then he trimmed up the grass. So, all right, that's where we're at. That's what we're looking like.
And that is going to bring us to the end of another episode. We thank you for joining us today. Do have a wonderful and great day.